Hi. Many people have asked me to do some more analysis, especially supposedly to rebut a another YouTuber. I'm going to refrain from doing that, but I do have some more analysis that I can share. So this is a very clear video shared by Department of Homeland Security. The key part has been cut, okay? But still we can say a lot. So if you can see my mouse, this is the maroon car that you can see sitting here is Renee Nicole Good, okay? Across from the street are three women. They are all friends of Renee Nicole Good. That was why, explain later why she was very relaxed and saying hi to ICE agent Jonathan Ross. Okay. So before her car, this car, moments earlier, drove from behind this Renee's car and blocked her, parked right in front of Renee's car. This car was driven by Agent Jonathan Ross. Okay. So this is the setup. Let's give it a little more go. Okay. Rushing from far away, this is Becca. So Becca was not very close initially. So now, this is Jonathan Ross. This is Becca. So in a sense, Becca took out her phone because Jonathan Ross was recording using his phone, okay? And there's something key at this time that you shall see that Jonathan Ross is right-handed and he was holding his cell phone with his right hand, okay? Remember this. Okay, at this point, Jonathan Ross and Becca had exchange. Okay, the video was cut very soon. Okay, but clearly Department of Homeland Security has a better video that has not been released to public. Okay, but even using the bad videos, the not so clear videos, I can still come up with a conclusion that may be shocking. Stay tuned. Okay, so in this video, there are a couple cars. Okay, this is not a good video, but it shows the whole incidents obtained by CNN. So if you look at my mouse pointer, this van was driven by, the driver was Jonathan Ross. He passed, so this facing the camera, the maroon van was driven by Renee Nicole Good. Okay. All right, let's move forward. So you can see cars are still passing if they wish. And as I was pointing out earlier, over here were the pet dog and friends of three women, friends of Becca and Renee. And Becca obviously ran towards the car a little bit earlier when she saw Agent Jonathan Ross was using his right hand video recording the scene, okay? And Becca told him that she was a veteran, okay? And she hoped Jonathan Ross does not give them difficult time, okay? Let's see exactly what Becca said. Let's look at a little more, okay? So there's an exchange. So Becca, so you see, this is Becca. This is Jonathan Ross. Becca was talking to him. What is she talking? We know what she was talking. Okay, so from this angle, the three women, friends of Becca and Renee, are standing on the side of the road, okay? And then Becca was telling Jonathan Ross that she was a F-word veteran and she was a disabled veteran. By telling this to Jonathan Ross, Becca hopes that Jonathan Ross would give her a easy path. And remember, based on my knowledge, the right side, the street is facing south. So the right side is the south. So this building, remember this building is on the west side of the street. Listen to what Becca says.
You want to come at us? I said go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
You see?
Go ahead.
From Becca's perspective, he asked, do you want to get at us? And why don't you go to get some lunch, big boy? She was trying to conclude the session. She wasn't challenging. Although her manner may be mistaken as challenging, no. She was telling Jonathan Ross, look, I'm a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran. Give us a break. Why don't you go to have some lunch? And from Becca's estimation, because her friends are standing by, she thinks this is it. They are good to go. Okay? We do hear people say get out or get out of the car by different people. I estimate those come from the north side of the street. So it's not on Becca's side. Those come from Renee's side. Okay. Now, what really happened? So this is from a different angle. Becca right here was telling Jonathan Ross that I'm a disabled veteran and why don't you give us a break? Go to have some lunch. And she was telling Jonathan Ross. And Jonathan Ross did appear to have retreated. He did retreat. He retreated back to his van. Becca thought this is all over and turned her back towards Jonathan Ross. Okay? So Becca doesn't know Jonathan Ross. Who is Jonathan Ross? He is an elite military personnel who thrived in the war in Iraq as a machine gunner. What is a machine gunner? So his main focus is using machine guns to shoot at people in Iraq. Okay? So, how do I say it? I disagree that United States government should not directly deploy a machine gunner from Iraq to serve as ICE agent with this naive Christian woman. and the result is disastrous. So Jonathan Ross is highly tactical. So when Becca telling him those, he retreated back to the van. But as soon as Becca turned her back to him, see what happened. In no time, he sprang out from the van where he was appeared to be before Becca was facing him. Okay? And there's something I want to say at this time. So it's not just Jonathan Ross. Bear, B-E-A-R, bears, cheetahs, leopards, tigers, all these predator animals, they will all attack you if you turn your back towards them. It's almost an animal instinct, unfortunately. And Becca and Renee and their 3 female friends standing across near them cannot imagine that what kind of person Jonathan Ross is. I'm just saying, I personally know such veterans. Shooting people death is no longer fun, F-U-N, fun enough for them. They have to shoot at their head to get the feeling. And that is exactly what happened here in a few seconds. Okay? Okay, we'll continue this video. So Jonathan Ross quickly approached Becca from the back and passed her. And at this time, you can see Renee Nicole Good's car was moving away from Jonathan Ross. Jonathan Ross was standing in front of the car, in front of the purple van, but the purple van was backing away from him. And he did understand what Becca was talking to him. So there's no mistake. There's no rational mistake. Even if he didn't look at that Renee was rotating the wheel. Okay, Renee was sitting in a dark background with a scarlet collar with 2 pale white hands rotating to south on the shiny black wheel. And her sleeves were white with black markings, and you can't and those are in the center of Agent Ross' eyesight. It's not like on the side, it's in the center, because he was aiming at Renee's head. So he must saw it, because it's the same place. And even if he didn't saw it, he saw Renee back her car and move towards the right. Okay, so he, without a doubt, Jonathan Ross know Renee Good was not going to ram him. Renee Good was not going to harm him. Renee Good and Becca Good, they just want to leave. Okay? And because the good video was not released, we have to look at the bad video. But with good eyes like me, you can still see where Jonathan Ross is. The way you look at it is that first there's a tree trunk here that will always block the light, but the light of reflection of Renee's car is almost continuous. So whenever you see the light is blocked, like right here, that's where Jonathan Ross was at this time. Okay? Let's continue this. Okay. So somebody argue, oh, this agent has his hands in the car. No. From the character of Jonathan Ross last time, he inserted his arm really hard into the car to such an extent he couldn't pull them back. But this agent, I guarantee you, he's of a different profile. He lightly leaned his hands on the bottom of the windshield, and he or she quickly retrieved his or her hand. So this is a different kind of person. This is not the same kind of person as Jonathan Ross. They are different. And neither of those pulled any gun. Because under 3 women were watching there under such circumstances, this kind of mindset will never harm. We'll understand there's nothing to freak out. But not for somebody, a machine gunist. You know, the first time I saw his face after he shot Renee in the video, I know this was not his first time. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so he started to fire shot, but you can see he's already here. Okay, this is important, but we have even better evidence after this. Just move back a little bit. Okay, let's move back a little more. Let's see if I can. Okay, so this is before the gunshot. Okay, you can see this is the left front light. This is the right front light. Okay, this is the entire front. Before the gunshot, this is also, there was a woman walking in this direction. She also saw there's nobody in front of the car. She was not lying, because there was nobody in front of the car. This is a bad video, but I guarantee you Jonathan Ross is right here, and there's nothing in front of the car before he shot Renee Nicole Good. And in my earlier video, I already analyzed many things. Okay, the bullets, 3 bullets, 2 were shot from the side window. That's gangster murder. And the first shot is not reasonable, because if you project that bullet, it's way out of the path of the van. And not only that, before this, Jonathan Ross had a conversation with Renee Good. Can you conclude, based on the smile, the mental profile of Renee Good, will she ever, if you ask her to run over Jonathan Ross, will she do it? And Jonathan Ross knows it. Otherwise, he has mental illness. What I'm talking about are all common sense. Jonathan Ross or any police officer should have this human ability. He talked to Renee Good. He talked to Becca. Becca also asked him to give them a break and asked him to have lunch, big boy. It may not sound like friendly. From Becca's style, it's already extremely humbling, extremely friendly. And further, he is not in front of the car before he shot it. Okay, and the other things, I want you to pay attention to the woman after he fired shot. The reaction is immediate. You don't need to hear the sound. Look! The woman was crying, ducking to the ground. Okay? That's where the shot were fired. It is a very bad practice. Jonathan Ross, you already have their plate number. These 2 women, although they may be on the left, okay, they are not criminals. They are good Samaritans. And their friends are here. You could have shot their friends. You could have injured their children. Okay? And I'm saying this, I'm still pretending I'm naive. In the later part of this video, I'm going to tell you why Jonathan Ross is premeditated murder here. Okay? I'm not using anything else. I'm just using his own video. The video J.D. Vance published and claiming supporting Jonathan Ross was self-defense. Okay, J.D. Vance is a good-looking, blue-eyed Christian politician. I'm guessing he doesn't understand what it is like to be a badass warrior, a machine gunner, honorable machine gunner, honorably returned from Iraq, from the war in Iraq. He doesn't understand what kind of people that is. Okay, Jonathan Ross, sorry to be offensive. I say you are a monster. Okay, but you thrive in that environment which is needed by America. I applaud you when your capability was served at the right channel, but not here, not killing and scare American women and children. Okay, let's continue a little bit more on this painful video. Okay, from this point, back Renee was dead. Her foot lumped onto the towards the side of the street. Nobody was injured. Nobody was in the path. And from after the shot, okay, you can see the other three agents, and the Becca Good and other people are all far away from the cell phone of Jonathan Ross. So that F word followed by B word was a true word coming from Jonathan Ross. I'm just saying, when he was in Iraq, he may have said that many times when he was stomping on the dead bodies of those foreign enemy combatants. He may have said the same thing. He should have. I guarantee you 100% he have said something similar, maybe even including civilians, women. He have said something like that many times. And this come out of him. The F word and B word was part of his instinct at this time. And then I was talking about J.D. Vance. I say, J.D. Vance, I'm not sure if this is a decision of J.D. Vance or a decision of Donald Trump or somewhere lost in the order. It's highly inappropriate to have this kind of expert, elite soldiers to do things in the United States. Okay? It's a waste of his capability as well. Okay. Now, next, the most important part comes. Let's look at the video shot by Jonathan Ross himself. Okay. I'm not sure if this video is clear enough. Let's make it really slow first. Okay. It may not contain all the detail. We'll see. Okay. So first, I want to get more into detail. Okay. So he come to Renee Good. She was very friendly. And from the mirror, you can see Jonathan Ross was holding a phone, okay, to record better, okay. So you can see the phone, he was holding the phone. Let's see if I can have a better. Okay, here, best. So this is like a mirror. So this is actually his left hand. This is his right hand that was holding a phone. And the front of the phone was facing outside, recording. And that's his right arm and right hand. And then Becca wasn't here waiting for him. Becca was running from far away because he saw he was video recording. So Becca took out her phone as well. Okay? And clearly, Jonathan Ross has their license plate. So he knows where to serve any notice or where to arrest them. This should have been it. This should have has been it. Okay? But it isn't. So the two female so Becca Good was saying that they don't change their plate every day. You can see the poor woman, remember, was the woman that was ducking, screaming in disbelief when Jonathan Ross opened fire into the face of Renee Nicole Good. It was abnormal in their mindset. Okay? They have no idea who Jonathan Ross is.
U.S. citizen.
She says she's U.S. F-word veteran and disabled veteran. So Jonathan Ross continued to record. This all come from Jonathan Ross video. And so I'm going to jump a little because I'm in slow motion. So Becca was talking. I was playing this a little earlier. Jonathan Ross came back as soon as Becca turned her back. And then, as the video shows, this is not just Jonathan moving to the north. The car was backing with moving away from Jonathan Ross. And the car's front was moving to the south, away from Jonathan Ross. Okay, in the clear video. And you can also clearly see that the arm movement is in the center of Jonathan Ross' eyesight. And at this time, Jonathan Ross has moved out of the dangerous way. There's no danger for this vehicle to hit him at all. With other women so close. Okay, you can see this is so at this time, Jonathan Ross has not pulled his gun, but he is on the southwest side of Renee Nicole Good's car. He's already on the west side, the passenger side. And his cell phone recorded his own car, his own van blocking the way, okay? He continued to move to the side. He still has not pulled his gun. Now, a strange thing happened, okay? Many people don't understand. Even there are people say he dropped his phone. So no. So the strange thing is Jonathan Ross holding his phone in his right hand, and his phone is facing outside. Right now is on recording the east side of the street, okay? And then in the next few frame, you will see how come we see his face now. You think about it. I'll give you 1 second to think about it. I'll tell you the answer so you can understand. I'll make my hand so I'm holding my cell phone like this, okay? Grabbing between the fingers, or holding this way, whatever. I should not be able to show my face. Only if I turn the cell phone back towards myself. That's where you'll see my own head and face mask. Okay? So Jonathan Ross, before he shot Renee Nicole Good, he stopped recording. He did not record anything about his shooting of Renee Nicole Good. I bet J.D. Vance didn't know this before he released this video. Okay, this is the difference between a cell phone and a body cam. A body cam, unless it's malfunction, it will record the parts that the agent does not want to record. But when the agent holds the cell phone, he will not record the part he does not want you to see. And this behavior pattern is very, very 99% soldier type, American soldier type. I'm not saying American soldiers are bad people, but this characteristic is so almost like the taste of wine. That is unique to the wine. And this behavior is unique to the soldiers. Okay? And then let's see what he did continue. So his head moved forward in the cell phone means he continued to move the cell phone towards his body. It looked like he tucked his cell phone into his chest. Okay, I'm going to play this again because there's another, I don't know if I can catch it. There's another screen you can see before he fully, I'm sure the Homeland Security saw this all. So he first moved his cell phone towards the sky. Okay, here. You can see this is so close to his face mask. So let's continue. And then total darkness. Okay, so what happened here is the cell phone is entirely tucked into either a pocket or a holder on his chest, under his face mask, on his chest. And it was after this we hear gunshots, okay? So what he did, what Jonathan, this elite war veteran, what did he do? After he tucked the cell phone using his right hand, in no time, he immediately using his right hand, which is confirmed by the video, pulled his gun out. His gun was hanging to the right side of his pants, near his belt. Okay? These were all done so fast, it's like a badass, like old Western movie, badass sheriff. Okay? And he shot without any, he didn't record it. Again, this is the difference between a body cam and a cell phone holding by the agent himself. He shot 3 shots. 2 of the shots were shot from the side window, which is gangster behavior. Even the first shot, I would say it's not justified, because if you extend that 1 shot, it was not in the track of the vehicle. Okay, let's see what happened next. Okay. Then, also in lightning time, he put his gun back. And he went to his pocket near the chest under his mask. He pulled out the cell phone. It was at this time we see a very bright, shiny object. You see a very bright and shiny object. I don't know what that is, okay? It looked like it's in the sky because he was facing the sky. It could be the sun, okay? If you ask me to make some romantic imagination, I say that is the soul of our poor Renee Nicole Good, her soul, ascending to heaven. Okay? That's a romanticized. What can you do? Otherwise, it's pure sadness. Let's continue to look at the video recorded by Jonathan Ross. And the light continued for quite a while before he moved further up and down. So he moved down. So this tree actually is on the west side of the street now. It's the other side direction of his shooting. Okay. So this put another question. So not only he didn't record the shooting, okay, he was lightning speed, put away his cell phone and pull out his gun. He may have used both hands to shoot, okay? And also like a badass sheriff in the old Western movies, he put the gun back in lightning speed and pull out his cell phone again. It's like magic. Nobody else see. I bet Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Ice Barbie all didn't see this coming. You know, you can imagine in Jonathan Ross' eye what kind of humans they are. Okay, this elite Iraqi war veteran, Iraqi warrior. Okay, and then, but when he pull his phone out, he doesn't record anything. He record away from the direction he shoot. You can see his mindset. Okay, if he has nothing to hide, if he is honest, if he really were so scared, he would just drop his phone, right? This is after the shooting. If he was traumatized, he was injured, he immediately pulled out his phone and videoed the other direction, the sky up, and the other direction away from where he shot. Okay, and this is a tree. And sky again, a lot of sky. Finally, we see this building. I was asking you to remember this building. This is the west side of the street, away from the direction where he fired shots. And afterwards, quite a while later, he said the FB word, okay? It's really, there's nobody nearby. It was him. He said FB after he shot Renee Nicole Good in the face 3 times, twice from the side window. in cold blood. The reason I say he's meditated is all because of the cell phone. Okay? If you are truly scared, fear for your life, you would not be able to continue recording. You would not be able to not just continue recording, you point your cell phone away from the crime scene. That's a premeditated murder. And then remember the woman across the street, the street woman, Duck? Think about what kind of person, what kind of character, what kind of profile Jonathan Ross is. You see, I know these people. I have so many experience and I pay attention to details and I'm just really good at it. Okay, the Renee Good is such a good soul. Even when she was dead, you can see there was no people in the ranch. There was no people in the ranch, and she harmed nobody. Her car harmed nobody. Because that's the profile of this good woman, Renee Nicole Good. Her fatal flaw was she didn't know what a chore she was facing on that fateful day. Imagine her, this is the neighborhood she lives. This is the neighborhood Renee Nicole Good lives. This is where her 6-year-old child living with her and Becca go to school nearby. Can she imagine a Iraqi war veteran, a machine gunner for 1 year in Iraq? Can she imagine the blood and gore and the joy and the capability this Jonathan Ross possesses? She cannot. Okay? That's it. I'm talking too much. I feel very sad. I feel very, very sad. Honestly, I already made my decision. Jonathan Ross, you are a premeditated murder in this case. And the reason many people say, it's so fast, split second. Okay? The reason it was so fast was because Jonathan Ross want blood. And the window, he saw an opportunity to explode a watermelon in front of him. Sorry, I have to say something in parable. Was only that quick. And don't say he protects the other. They were not just out of the way. They are not the same kind of person as he is. Okay? I'm not going to say any more. I don't think he cares about anybody else. I don't think Jonathan Ross cares about anything else. Because when you have so many people exploded, with their watermelon exploded in front of you, you feel you're a god. You are an elite god, which is true. He was a god, a warrior against foreign enemies. He was. They are murders. They are murders in the fighting ground in Iraq. Okay? But this is America. These women are civilians. By no means you should have done this to Renee Nicole Good. Ross, you shouldn't have done this to them. I would say, if you ask me, I would say a death penalty. A death penalty. This person is a serial killer inside the United States. A death penalty for him. Immediate removal from the force and a death penalty for him. If he want to become a war veteran, fighting for the United States on foreign soil, that's fine. Okay? I'm sorry to say this. That's to the best of my knowledge, the decision. Thank you. Bye-bye.